Welcome to Brier's Music Showcase. I'm Bryer and welcome to another video. And you saw the title of the video, and yeah, I might have done a little bit of shopping. So to give you some backstory, I just recently bought this little storage bin for my vinyl records, and it actually fits pretty well on a desk. It looks pretty cool, you know, fits the aesthetic, I guess. And once I was done, I put the records in the bin, and I look at it, and I'm like, you know, there's still room there. So yeah, so just today, I just came home, by the way. I had my brother take me to the record store I usually go to, and yeah, I got a few things. And that's not the only thing. Again, if you've read the title, I'm also doing an unboxing because this came in. I tried to catch it, but it didn't work. But yeah, as a bonus, we're gonna unbox this as well. And so in total, let me give you a brief rundown. So we got, if we include this, I have 5 CDs, and I bought 3 vinyl records. That's right, 3. So without further ado, let's do this. If you enjoy these types of videos, these like record store find videos, unboxing videos, etc., then please give the video a like. So without further ado, let's do it. So I feel like I'm going to start with this one first, because I think out of all these, this is probably going to be the one that majority of people aren't going to know. I don't even know, I can't even remember how I came across this one. I think a viewer suggested this one. So if you're the viewer who suggested this one, then thank you very much. It's just one. And that album is Mint Jams by a band called Cassiope. Cassiope? I have no idea how you say it, but that's what it looks like. And this came out in the 1982 from what I've gathered. And this is a Japanese jazz fusion band. Had to think of the word there, but yes, this is a jazz fusion band from Japan, as you can tell by the Japanese wording there. So again, I have no idea who suggested this one, that I checked this out. But again, if you're that person, then thank you for just suggesting it. I haven't heard it, but it sounds interesting. So we're gonna give it a listen. I just liked how I took that off. Like, I just pulled on a tab and it just went around the entire CD. So that way you can just slide it out. Isn't that nifty? That's kind of nice. And then you have this little extra piece. I don't know what these are good for, but I don't know, maybe I'll save them. But here's what it looks like. Here's what it looks like on the back. And I believe all this is instrumental, so I won't know the music. I won't need to know lyrics. What's interesting is that the songs are in English. Well, most of them, majority of them, are in English. There are a couple that are in Japan. Actually, yeah, only one is actually in Japanese, so that's interesting. So here's what the disc looks like. Okay, and let's look at the booklet real quick. This is probably going to be a thin one, so it's not going to be a whole lot to say. But you open it up, Japanese text, so you can't really read that. Again, what's interesting is that the back is in English, so you can read out who's in the band, who produced it, and all that stuff, where it was recorded. Interesting. So yeah, I'm very looking forward to checking this out. Again, I've been pretty much in a jazz fusion kick this whole month. You'll find out more when we get to my CD haul video for April. So yeah, that's what I got. I'm going to put them here for today. So we'll put that there. So now let's look at what I got from the record store. Again, from Folk Art Rare Records. I still have trouble saying that from time to time. But yeah, that's my main place basically. And so what I'm going to be doing, I'll go through the CDs first, and then we'll look at the vinyl records. So here we go. So first one we'll talk about. This was probably the most expensive CD in this whole bunch. This was like for basically 19 bucks basically. And the reason is because this is actually a 2 CD pack. It's a remastered deluxe edition of The Velvet Underground with the self-titled album. It's kind of confusing. There's The Velvet Underground and Nico, and then you have just The Velvet Underground. I don't know, it gets confusing, but once you get past that, then it's fine. So yeah, this is their 3rd studio album. Disc 1 has the original album, and then disc 2 has like pretty much a live recording. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know a whole lot on this album. I know I think I've heard Katie Say's at one point. I know Pale Blue Eyes. That's probably the only song I'm very familiar with. But yeah, just, you know, I might as well get more Velvet Underground in the collection. So open it up. That's the first panel, the picture of the band there. Then here's disc 2 right there. And the booklet is here. It's a thick one too, so we're gonna see, just gonna look through it. So you have some quotes here. Then you have a little history on the band here. I am gonna try and go through this kind of quickly, because I got home from school and all, and my phone is about halfway dead, so time is ticking. They give you a lot of information on this thing, which is kind of cool. I do like that. Some colored photos. Last page, okay, second to last page. And now the last page. All right, so there you go. So now let's go ahead and move on. Next, we have Boston with Don't Look Back, and it comes in this little digipack. So this is the follow-up to their monstrous debut. And while people said that it's not as good, obviously, but it still has some good stuff on it. So booklet here, a little pipe organ. Some little history there. Last page here. Okay, let's look through. Just kind of looking through the creds right here. All right, not much to say there, but very glad to have it. It's been a while. I've been wanting to get that album for a while now, but I'm always kind of pushing it back because, you know, for a lot of people, the debut is pretty much their peak, and everything after that is not as good. But you know, never know. There might be some hidden gems in that catalog. Right, next, here is another debut. We have the debut album of the Mothers of Inventions, aka Frank Zappa's band. So we have Freak Out. There's the back. Yeah, Frank Zappa is another one of those artists I've been trying to get into more, because, you know, there's just so much to his catalog that it gets overwhelming on where to start. But I found this CD at the record store, so I was like, you know, cool, might as well start now. And let me just show you the inside of the CD. That's what it looks like without the disc. And it just folds out. So we'll start with this side. Kind of go across here and flip it. So, very cool. Okay, and then the last CD, another one I was kind of like, you know, let's give it a go. So this is the Smiths with The Queen is Dead. So I've always heard a lot about the Smiths. Very, I guess, I mean, mostly Morrissey. Wait, is it Morrissey? Morrissey? Yeah, that's his name. Of course, very controversial figure in music. Again, always complaining about stuff. But people always said that this is probably their best album. So I have no idea what the Smiths sound like. I can't even remember if I've even heard a Smiths song before. But you know, let's give it a go. Why not? Again, people has really hyped this album a lot. So we'll see if it lives up to the hype for me. Actually, I almost forgot to show you what's inside. So there you go. Very plain, kind of ordinary. The booklet's pretty nice though. So open it up. There's pictures, of course, the lyrics. All right, not much to say again, but you know, you'll find out my thoughts on these albums in my CD hauls, so look forward to those. I mean, the month is coming to an end very soon, so again, if you like the CD hauls, be on the lookout for it. All right, so now before I get to the vinyls, let me quickly check. Okay, good. Just want to make sure we're recording, because sometimes I forget if I record or not. And there's been times I try to record a video and it turns out I was just talking to nobody. So anyhow, moving on. So now let's get on to the piece de resistance. Hopefully I said that right. But let's go talk about the records that I bought. So I bought 3, like I said earlier. And I'm going to start with this one first, because out of all the ones I bought, this is probably going to be the one that most people have not heard of, but I really think people should give this band a chance. So the band is called Renaissance, and this is their album, Turn of the Card. So I have this on CD, but I saw this in the record store and it was like for $4. I was like, yeah. And I looked, the record is actually, it looks like it has barely been played, and it still has the shrink wrap too. So I don't know if this is a repress or something like that, but regardless, I just had to get it. So here's the back. Each member of the band is on a card, hence, you know, the album's called Turn of the Card, so it makes sense. So you have Running Hard, so you have the songs, there's 6 songs. Running Hard, I Think of You, Things I Don't Understand, Black Flame, Cold as Being, and then the closing track is Mother Russia, which is just a gorgeous closing track, one of my favorites, honestly. So if you don't know Renaissance, they are a English progressive rock band. They incorporate a lot of symphonic elements and stuff like that. Just very nice, beautiful like melodies and passages throughout. And then you have the lead singer, who is Annie Haslam, and just some gorgeous vocals on it. Just love her voice. I definitely want to check out more Renaissance in the future, but their CDs, and I mean most of their CDs, are hard to come by for a cheap price. So even though this is an album I'm familiar with already, I mean, I'm glad to have this. And this is like such a great record. Before I show you what the record looks like, first let me name the rest of the band. So I already mentioned Annie Haslam, but we have John Tout. What the heck was that? Sorry, I think somebody's doing yard work. Moving on, I'm not cutting that out. John Camp on bass and vocals. Terrence Sullivan on drums, percussion, and vocals. Then you have Michael Dunford on acoustic guitar and vocals. So yeah, so let's see what the record looks like. So it comes in this paper sleeve. So let's go ahead. It's a little dusty, of course, but that's going to be a given with these older records here. So here's side 1. Then on the back, you have side 2, of course. Alright, so that is a good find. Just a little cleaning, and I think it should play just fine. There we go. Let's put it back. Alright, so I'll put it down here for now. Alright, next, another pretty cool find. And this is actually a historical moment because this is my first ever double LP. So this is another one I do have on CD already, but I think it'd be kind of nice having it on vinyl. So we have Jesus Christ Superstar. And I don't know if this is an original pressing or not. I don't know if it's like a later pressing or stuff like that. I'm not good on that, but I know this is a US pressing because it has this album cover, because I think the original UK cover is a little bit different. Actually, a lot different now that I think of it. But yeah, just flip it over on the back. I mean, it's pretty remarkable. You have a pretty good cast playing different characters. Of course, you have Ian Gillan from Deep Purple as Jesus, Murray Head as Judas Iscariot, and then you have Yvonne Elliman, who played Mary. Not Jesus' mom, but different Mary. Yeah, and then the rest I don't know. I don't know, but all of them sound great in their roles. Just a great composition by Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice, who did the lyrics. So awesome. So let's go ahead, let's take a look what it comes with. Regardless if this is a original pressing or not, still in very good condition. So the gatefold, there's not really a whole lot, not much to write home about. It's kind of bare. So let's look at the records themselves. And the records, they look pretty good. So the reason why I think it might be an older pressing is because it comes in, yeah, this is like an 80s pressing. Because it says copyright 1980, so yeah, that pretty much tells you. So this is an 80s pressing. So let's go ahead, just kind of looking around. So this is side 1 here. Oop, slipped out. I'm going to take out one of them, just so you see the whole thing. But yep, comes in the rainbow MCA label. Carefully put it back. I'm still not used to this yet. Carefully, as always. And let's quickly look at the second record. Oh, it comes in a different paper. That's kind of interesting. I'm not going to take it out, but here's side 3. And there's side 4. Hopefully you can read that. Alright. Awesome job. Does it come with anything else? I don't think so. Yeah, no. But yeah, Jesus Christ Superstar on vinyl. And here is the crowning jewel of this whole haul here. Or this pickup video, I don't know. Alright. I saw it and I just had to get it. I didn't care about the price at all. It was a bit expensive. I think it's a bit too much, if I'm going to be honest with you. But I just had to get it. So you're going to see the cover and you're like, no, I mean, of course he was going to get it, but Queen 2. And you know what? This actually has not been opened, but as you can probably tell already, this is not an original pressing. This, as you can tell by the sticker, this is a 2011 remaster of it. It's basically the same as my CD copy that I have down there, but come on. I mean, who does not want this full picture in your record collection? Like, it's one of the most iconic covers ever, one of my favorites ever. I mean, they've used this image throughout their whole career. And plus it's Queen 2. I mean, I've said it before that Queen 2 is my second favorite Queen album. This is obviously their most proggy album. Even though they aren't technically a prog band, this is probably very close to that. There's so much experimentation on it. I just love it. So, and you know what? Since it's still in the shrink wrap, let's unbox this. So this is the first I'm unboxing a vinyl record. How about that? Another reason I got it, like even though this is not an original pressing, I mean Queen albums are pretty hard to come by in record stores. I'm figuring out, especially now since Queen is pretty in high demand, because they're very popular now, like more than ever since the movie came out. But regardless, I just you know me when it comes to Queen. Alright, so this is supposed to replicate the original gatefold, so this is what it looks like, but the gatefold comes downward. So let's go this way. So very cool. So gives you the credits there. Tells you there's the white side and the black side. So the white side, or side 1, has Procession, Father to Son, I'm blanking, White Queen, As It Began, Someday, One Day, The Loser in the End. And then side black, or side 2, is Ogre Battle, The Fairy Feller's Masterstroke, Nevermore, The March of the Black Queen. Love that one. Funny How Love Is. And then it closes out with their first UK top 10 hit, 7 Seas of Rye. Of course, produced by Roy Thomas Baker. Alright, so now let's look at the records. And it comes in this sleeve, again trying to replicate. So you have the lyrics here, which is nice. Here's the record. So here is side 1. Again in white. And side 2 is in black. So yeah, just looking through it. Again, there's still some particles on it, but it shouldn't be that bad. Sweet. So that's pretty much the big highlight of this day, really, of this whole haul. So let's put everything away and we can close out the video. Alright, so let's recap. So we got Queen 2, the 2011 remaster. Put those there. Yeah, there we go. Jesus Christ Superstar. Renaissance. Turn of the Cards. And then for CDs, we have The Smiths, The Queen is Dead. Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Inventions, Freak Out. Boston, Don't Look Back. Velvet Underground, self-titled. And then Mint Jams by Cassiope. Not sure if I'm saying that right. So thank you very much for watching. In the comments below, let me know your thoughts on all these stuff that I picked up. And if you, again, don't, I'm messing up my outro because, you know, I'm all excited, you know. So let me start it again. I'm not cutting this part out. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe if you're new, leave your thoughts on all these stuff that I've picked up, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and goodbye for now.